Namaskaram and welcome to SABC 3. I am Shridika Pillai and you are watching Sadhana, the Inward Path. Yes, spring is in the air and with it comes the promise of all things bright, breezy and beautiful. Today on Sadhana, we celebrate the season of hope and rejuvenation with a look through nature and savor some magical melodies from home and abroad. In keeping with fresh new beginnings, we sap up a soul-stirring Ganesha Bhajan and then meet with Chennai's very own child prodigy, music maestro Sathyanarayanan. We also visit a noble initiative by the Sri Veerabhoga Imperumal Temple in Tongaat, which hopes to develop budding young minds. From the tender age of 2, Sathyanarayanan from West Mambalam, Chennai, was discovered dexterously playing well-loved tunes on the keyboard. Today, this incredibly talented lad, with the love of music imprinted in the depths of his soul, expresses his devotion to God through music. When East meets West, talent and technology spring to life, and Sadhana was a witness to this sheer brilliance.
In my music career, it has been a very long journey and it has been a very good experience because it's all God's grace and well-wishers' wishes. The music journey actually started with my grandfather, my first guru, Sangeeta Bhushanam M.R. Sadagopan. Unlike the other grandparents, he did not tell me stories, but he told me swaras and ragas. So that gave a very good impression and it gave me a very good insight into music, as people always say in Tamil, "Aindil vilayaladu, aimbadil vilayadu." That means if something is not going to your head at the age of 5, it won't go at the age of 50. The journey into keyboard was when my dad's friend Jayashree auntie gifted us a small keyboard and I just started to fidget with it. And I liked the sounds coming from out of it and I started playing the keyboard. I took into Western classical music at the age of 4 and later I switched over to Carnatic music. My first album, Carnatic on keyboard, when I was just 8 years old. So from then on, it has been a very great journey and keyboard has been recognized in Carnatic music field from the greatest institutions of India. Carnatic music, it's another type of music which is very much difficult to learn, but once learned, it can be performed easily. Carnatic music is more of bhakti, devotion, the way you easily relate to God, the way you easily surrender to God. It is from your heart. Here, whatever came to the composer's mind, that is framed as a raga. So whatever music it came to him, he visualized it, he wrote it, he wrote the lyrics like that. So that is how the ragas came. Whereas in Western music, it was just the major scale, the minor scale, the melodic major, melodic minor. It was all related to the technical aspects of the instrument they played. Like the 7th note is the easiest note to play in the guitar, whereas the major 7th note is the easiest way to play in the keyboard. So it is just based on chords. Whereas Indian music, it is based on thoughts and feelings. Whatever came to my mind, that came out as music, and that was named as a raga. So all the people after that followed that same notes pattern as a raga, as that music. Words is one aspect, according to me, which is not a barrier at all. So according to me, instrumental music is something more I can relate to, because I am an instrumentalist, so it is easy for me to relate with that. So I can visualize my own sounds, I can hear my own music, which I can reproduce. I want to be a complete musician. A complete musician is one who can play all genres of music, who can compose, who can score, and also who can appreciate music. I have already learned Western music, and since I'm playing Carnatic, since I'm learning Carnatic now, I can mix both, and that will produce a very different kind of music, which will be my own style. A human being should have something co-curricular in his life. Work is always there, but he should have something which he needs to keep it parallelly with his future. If one is working in an IT company, he should have something very different from it to relax. God is just one, He is the supreme power. So according to me, one very easy way for me to connect with Him is through my music, and especially instrumental music. It doesn't have words, it's just a sound. So whatever we play, we dedicate to God, and I don't start my concerts, I don't start my day without thinking about Him. So it's been, God is always there with us.
The Varaha Purana states that the 5 biggest favors bestowed by trees are like 5 Mahayagyas. They give fuel, shade, a resting place, a home to animals, and medicine. Divinity is prevalent in all forms of creation, including trees. Coming up next, and in keeping with spring, we explore the inner significance of sacred Vedic trees and their healing properties.
In Vedic culture, all living entities are considered to be sacred. All life forms on this earth planet are considered to be manifestations of the divine. So there's divinity in nature, there's divinity in the trees, in the animals, and all species on this earth planet are interdependent on one another.
Behind this huge machine of Mother Nature, there is a controller, and he's providing all the resources for the nourishment and for the benefit of the human form of life, which is very much evolved form of life. For our preservation, we require Mother Nature, and especially trees, plants that play a major role in our development and in our nourishment. So the human being has a special responsibility to protect and look after Mother Nature so that she gives in abundance. There's no need for us to drill for oil, and there's no need for us to cut down trees.
There are many sacred trees that are revered and respected. For example, in village life in ancient India, the tree was always the central focus of attention for the people in the village, where in the evenings they would all congregate around the tree, they would discuss the Vedic literature, they would try to resolve village conflicts. So they very much looked upon the tree as an exalted personality. This is the wonderful ancient tradition of India, where it encourages us to have this mood of reverence, this mood of gratitude to nature. In the Puranas, it is said that we have to live our lives like trees and become very, very tolerant, because trees are very tolerant. They're always giving shade and fruits and bark and wood, but they're asking nothing in return. They're offering all respects to others and asking nothing in return. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says of trees, I am the Ashvatam tree, the banyan tree. The various branches and leaves of the banyan tree reflect the nature of the material world. It reflects entanglement in the material world, and by reverence to the banyan tree, one can escape the cycle of birth and death. The neem tree is also very sacred to followers of Vedic culture. It is written in the Vedic literature that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born under the neem tree. Therefore, he was given the name Nimai. So it's seen as a very sacred tree. It is also seen as a manifestation of the goddess Durga in her form as Sitala Devi. When little children are overcome with smallpox, there's a prayer to the neem tree, and the leaves of the neem tree are crushed and the powder is rubbed onto the body of the child, and the powers of Sitala Devi are invoked. So this makes the neem tree very, very sacred and very potent, with a lot of medicinal value. Then we have the Bale tree, also known as the Bilva tree, which is sacred to Lord Shiva, and then the Tulsi tree, which is sacred to Lord Krishna. We find that when yagyas are done, mango leaves are plucked and they're used in various places in the yagya, so this makes the mango tree sacred. Banana trees are also sacred. Coconuts are also used in various yagyas, symbolizing the universe and the purity of the universe. Like this, there are so many sacred trees in Vedic culture, and we're encouraged to revere and respect all of these trees.
the Lord made this wonderful arrangement, this eco-village, that He provided everything, oceans and water, land with beautiful trees and plants, all to sustain this body. Because we desire to come here, and the good Lord, as recommended in the scripture, is like our Father. He provides all facilities, abundant resources for our needs, not for our greed. And that's the problem with the commercialization of today and modern technology. They're destroying the rainforest and good plants that are there for medicinal purposes. The more we hurt Mother Nature, the more she comes with a vengeance. An example can be volcanoes, tsunamis. There's so many other things. So we create violence against other societies, like the animal society, the plant society. Naturally, we'll get a reaction. The Lord not only provided a beautiful home and environment for us to live peacefully and develop our spiritual consciousness. All these beautiful plants that the Lord has provided always remind us to be in the mode of goodness.
Our survival on this earth planet is dependent on the survival of trees. Trees provide 90% of the oxygen that we breathe, which is generated in the tropical rainforest in Brazil. So if we continue to destroy trees, then it will affect the overall oxygen production of the earth. So it's very important for us to preserve trees, to engage in tree planting programs that encourage the planting of trees in schools and other institutions. So the more trees that we plant and the more we protect our environment and plants and so on, our survival into the future can be guaranteed.
Our elders often say, if you mend a bent tree while it is young, then that tree will grow up straight. So too, when a young mind is nurtured, it will produce an adult of sound character and good values. As part of their centenary celebrations, the Sri Veeraboga Imperumal Temple in Tongaat has begun a library and homework center for disadvantaged students. Here, students are able to complete their homework and do research in the safety and sanctity of a spiritual environment.
With our temple, it's actually exciting for 100 years. We have so much things that's going on. We started our Women Colloquium Forum. We have the skill center that has now started, where our youth development takes place.
And under the forum comes the homework center, the computer skills training center.
At the moment, we have currently about 25 learners that have joined us. They're very eager. We also provide light refreshments for them when they come after school.
Well, the initiative of the Youth Empowerment Center is actually, or the library center is for kids, underprivileged kids, and kids that don't have the facilities at home, like our internet facility and books and study guides.
Today, with education being so advanced, there's always a need for them to use the computer and the internet facility.
The main purpose is to develop the youth potential. And we have established the homework center. And we're hoping that parents would send their children here for that main purpose in mind, to have the solution where they know their children are in a place where we have the resources to help and to cater for them.
And we have also teachers, extra tight teachers that come in and assist kids with the homework that they have if they don't understand some stuff. Then we have the internet that's here, and then on a Sunday morning we have our youth that come in here as well as teachers.
We're also trying to empower children in our local community, because a lot of them go home to where parents work, and parents have to work because of the background they come from. And we try and help with supervision and to assist them with their homework.
For them to be able to do the research, the supervisors help them with their computer usage.
Because school operates certain times of the day, we decided to run the homework center after school.
Us youth have to take an example and lead, and this is the only time and place we can do it. So it's us youth who have to make the change and come out and get involved with organizations like this for us to make that change that we want to see.
All this is possible through Lord Narayana himself and with our dedicated members. They're very committed to, ensuring the success of Sri Veeraboga and Perumal Temple, our skills center, our cultural center, and the homework center and library as well.
Inspiring indeed. Like the children in Tongaat, we too can be connected via the internet to the source of all knowledge. Is not Lord Ganesha worshipped as the Lord of the intellect? Vidya Dayaka, Buddhi Pradayaka, the conferrer of all knowledge and wisdom. Enjoy this rendition of Lambodara He Vigneshwara by the renowned Karthikeyan Pillai and troupe as we end today's program with a bhajan dedicated to Ganapati. Until next week, do keep up your sadhana. Om Shanti.
Sai Shirdishwara Sai Shirdishwara Sai Paratishwara Sai